Okay, on your Chapter 8 review, on problems numbers 1 and 2, it just says write each as a percent, round to the nearest tenth of a percent. So all you have to do is just remember that to change a number to a percent, you're just going to go ahead and multiply the number by 100 and add the percent sign. So when you see 0.65, we're just going to take 0.65 right here. We're going to change that to a percent. It's going to multiply that times 100. And if you want to, you can go ahead and do that on your calculator. So on your calculator, I'm going to go ahead and do that right there. Let me bring my calculator up right here. So when we have our calculator, I'm going to go ahead and just take your calculator. And we're going to take 0.65 times that by 100. And you notice that equals 65. And then we just go ahead and add the percent sign. So that answer is going to be 65%. Now on this next problem, same thing. We're just going to go ahead and take our 0.043 and we're going to multiply that by 100. So just grab your calculators and I'm going to take your calculator and take 0.043 times that by 100. You get 4.3, and then once you got your answer 4.3, just add the percent sign to it, and your answer is 4.3%. Now these next two problems, we're going to go the opposite direction with it. So we have to change percents to decimals and decimals per percent so much in mathematics that we need some extra practice with it. So here's our rule for converting from a percent to a decimal. So to convert from a percent to a decimal, drop the percent sign and divide the remaining number by 100. So you're going to notice right here on number 3, we've got 20%. We're going to go ahead and drop that percent sign. So we drop the percent sign, we get 20. We're just going to take our calculators and we're going to take 20 and we're going to divide that by 100. When I take 20 divided by 100, you're going to notice that answer comes out to be 0.2. Same thing on number 4. We're going to go ahead and drop that percent sign. So notice, here's my 6%. I'm going to drop the percent sign, so I get 6. I'm just going to take my calc, I'm going to take 6 divided by 100. And when I do that, I get 0.06. And now I've converted that percent to a decimal. Now this just leads up to this example number 5. Example number 5, just a little bit of a, well, it's not really a story problem, but just a little bit of a question here. It says, what is 68% of 23? So we just have to remember all the different meanings of the words in English as we write them in mathematics. So you're going to replace the what with the variable x. And once you're done doing that, you want to replace the word is with equals. Because is in mathematics means equals. We also have to change 68% to decimal. So we had a little bit of practice with that on our previous problems. And then you're going to change the word of to multiplication. Because that's what of means in mathematics. So you'll notice that's what I did right here. I went and changed those over. So for in place of what, I'm going to put in a little x right here. So is equals 68%. If you need to go ahead and use your calculator, change that over. Remember, you just drop the percent sign. So we drop this percent sign. We're going to take 68 and we're going to divide that by 100. And when I take 68 divided by 100, I get 0.68. Now we've got to remember that of in mathematics means times, so we use this little dot here to represent our multiplication. And then we got 23. So now that we've changed it over, we can go ahead and solve this equation. Now notice there's no algebra involved in this right here. All it is just a direct problem. And so we're just going to take our calculators and we're going to type into our calculators 0.68 and we're going to times that by 23. I take 0.68 times 23, I get my answer of 15.64. Now on number 6, another story problem. It says solve the following. It says in Idaho, we have a 6% sales tax. If you purchase a soda for $2.09, how much tax will you pay? Well, to find the sales tax, we just need to remember, you're going to multiply the sales tax rate and change it to decimal form by the cost of the item. So notice in this case right here, cost of our soda is $2.09. Our sales tax rate is 6%. So to change that over to a decimal, you drop the percent sign and divide by 100. So I'm going to drop my percent sign, and I'm going to divide by 100. So I take 6 divided by 100, and I get 0.06. So here's my sales tax now, 0.06. Here's the cost of the soda. And I'm just going to multiply those two together. So multiplying those two together right here, you're just going to take 0.06, and I'm going to times that by $2.09. So there is the cost, or there's the sales tax, 0.124. You're just going to round it off the nearest cent because we don't have 0.124 in our monetary system. So notice we just take this 2, notice the 5 next to it, or sorry, the number next to the 2 is the 5, so this is going to round off to 13 cents, or in other words, 0.13. Now after we found the sales tax rate, the next question says that it wants us to go ahead and find the total cost. So it says on B, what is the total cost of the soda? Well, the total cost of the soda is the purchase price plus the tax. So we're going to notice that the purchase price of your soda is $2.09. And we're going to add the tax to it, which is 0.13. So I'm going to go ahead and add those two numbers together to find the total cost. So I'm going to take $2.09 plus that by 0.13 to go ahead and find the cost of the soda with the tax. So I take 209 plus 0.13, and that answer comes out to be $2.22. On number 7, it says the Buckle is having a winter closeout sale to make room for the new spring line. They're offering 30% off on jeans. If the jeans are regularly priced at $65, how much will you save with the discount? We need to remember to figure out how much you'll save, multiplied for the percent off, and again, it has to be in decimal form by the regular price. So here again, we've got 30% off, the regular price is $65. I'm going to go ahead and change this by taking my calculator. I'm going to go ahead and divide 30, you drop the percent, divide by 100, and that comes out to be 0.3. So here is my decimal form of 30%. I'm going to multiply that times the regular price, which is $65. So I take my calculator, I'm going to go ahead and take 0.30 times that by $65. And this is how much off I get for my jeans. So it's $19.50 is how much we're going to save with our discount. Now to find the price of the jeans, we need to go ahead and subtract those two. So you'll notice to find the price of the jeans, to find the price of the item, subtract the discount or the savings from the regular price. So notice again, here's our regular price right here. Our regular price is $65. We're going to go ahead and subtract the savings, which is $19.50. So regular price minus discount price, which is your savings. And go ahead and put this into our calculator and find out what the cost of our jeans is going to be. I take $65. So $65. And then I'm going to subtract $19.50. And when I do that, the cost of the jeans is going to be a total of $45.50. So on this next problem right here, on number 8, it says find the income tax owed to the federal government for a single person with a taxable income of $35,000 with no tax credits. So we just need to remind ourselves, since the taxable income has already been found, we just have to go directly to the tax table on the formula sheet and break down the tax in the 10% tax bracket and the 15% tax bracket. And we're going to do that in the single first column, then add those taxes together. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to go ahead and go to your tax table. So looking at your tax table right here, here's our tax table. You've got this formula sheet right here. So here's our tax table. So you're going to notice I even labeled it. It says tax table for number 8 and 9. So notice this particular individual, we've got a single person. So you're going to go to the column that says single. So notice there's actually 4 separate columns here. You're going to find the correct one, and that's a single. And then it says they have a taxable income of $35,000. So you're going to notice that their taxable income is $35,000. But we talked about this in class, that to make it fair for everybody, everybody pays the same amount on the first $8,700. And that tax rate is 10%. And then you're going to notice that the next column down says, well, from $8,700 to $35,350, well, this particular individual is going to still fall within that tax bracket. You got to pay 15% on that amount. And so you got to break it up into 2 separate parts. So you're going to notice that's what we do here on the solution guide. We're going to go ahead and break it up into 2 separate parts. And here's how it's going to break down. So the first thing we're going to break down is we're going to take out that $8,700. And remember, that's at the 10% tax rate. So remember, to get that 10%, you got to take your calculator, and you're just going to take 10 divided by 100, and there's 0.10. So when I take my calculator, I take that 8,700 times by 0.10, I get a tax of $870. So for his $8,700, first $8,700 he made, he's paying $870. Now it says that he made a total of $35,000. So we're going to have to take $35,000 minus $8,700 because he's already paid tax on the $8,700, but he has to pay a 15% tax on the remainder of that amount. So you're going to notice that when I subtract those two, so I'm going to take my calculator, I'm going to take 35,000, and then I'm going to subtract 26,300, and that's going to give me, or sorry, redo that again. So 35,000, subtract the 8,700 that he has already paid the taxes on, that comes out to be $26,300. And so on that $26,300, he's going to owe the 15% tax rate. So to change that to decimal, you drop the percent and take 15 divided by 100, and that comes out to be 0.15. Now when you multiply those two together, you take 26,300, and you're going to times that by 0.15. That's going to be his tax that he's going to owe on that amount of money. So notice he owes $3,945 on that amount that he made over $8,700. So all you have to do now is just go ahead and add those two together, and that's going to be his total tax bill. So notice I take the $870, I'm going to add the $3,945 to it, and that's going to be the amount that he's going to owe for his taxes. I take $870, I'm going to add $3,945, and when I add those two together, you get your total tax bill right here of $4,815.